happened? My gear won't budge anymore.
The Zohar modifier has ceased functioning. That is probably the reason why our gears cannot move anymore. There is only a slight energy response coming from the core now.
What about Elly? What's happening to her inside of that thing? The Deuce system's bind on her should have worn off now. So why aren't we getting any kind of response? You don't think we hurt her in that battle too?
Faye, calm down. The sensors are picking up a response from a life form within Deuce. It is probably Elly, so do not worry. I believe she is okay.
Elly! Can you hear me? Elly! Deuce is no longer active. It's all over now. So come out of there. Show me your face. Elly! Elly! What's happening? Doc? What's going on? What's wrong?
I am now detecting a tremendous amount of energy coming from within Deuce. It seems as if something that was sealed up till now has suddenly been freed and is growing enormously.
It couldn't be. The wave existence? The wave existence?
Oh yeah, did I tell you about that time I met God? So, it was the time when I was finding my father, and actually, you know what? I'll save this story for later.
That's gotta be it. The wave existence was just freed from its cage of fleshly existence in Zohar. It's probably attempting to return to the higher dimension that it originally came from.
Which means this is the after effect of the dimensional shift?
What do you mean, after effect?
It is like a shock wave that is induced by the dimensional displacement. But so much energy, if this much energy is unleashed here now...
If so much energy is unleashed, then what will happen, Doc? Tell us!
Then this planet will be annihilated. These numbers indicate that it has more than enough energy to take out a whole planet.
What do you mean?
You can't be serious. We all fought so hard, only to see this happen? Isn't there anything we can do? Can't we stop the after effect?
Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do. Almost all machinery, including our gears, are out of commission due to Zohar having been shut down. This time, there is nothing we can do. To put it to you straight, this is the end for us.
This is freaking stupid! How the hell could it all end like this? What were we all fighting for up till now? The vibrations are intensifying.
Hold on a sec. No, these vibrations are different. It has to be something else causing it.
Look!
Deuce is rising?
What is it this time?
Deuce is releasing its remaining energy and is beginning to accelerate. If it continues to accelerate at this rate, it will soon leave the atmosphere.
You don't think... Think what? That it's Elly? Elly is moving Deuce?
Are you sure?
I'm sure of it. Elly is trying to save us by moving Deuce away from our planet. She's going to sacrifice herself.
That can't be. Oh, Elly.
Can't we do anything? We can't just sit here and watch this happen, can we? Wait, there is still something I can do.
What is it, Faye?
My gear still works. Without Zohar, the power source for your gears, the only gear that now remains active is mine. Just like Deuce, my gear and I made contact with Zohar. We are the only ones who can move now. I'm going to go save Elly.
That is absurd! Even if you were able to catch up to Deuce, you will not have enough energy to make it back.
Even so, I still must go. Ellie's taking this whole burden upon herself. If anything happens to her, I want to be there with her. Hey, just wait a minute. You know I'm not gonna stand by and let you commit double suicide, if that's what you're planning. Bart, you better come back alive, you hear? Promise me. Promise me that you will come back. Then I'll let you go. Thanks, Bart. I promise. I promise you that I will return, with Elly. You better. Yeah, of course. Alright, then get going. But let's let him go, Citan. At this point, Faye's the only one that'll be able to bring Elly back. There's nothing we can say or do about it. You are right. Faye, keep your promise. No matter what.
Fei and Elly. Both of you.
Come back home.
They'll be waiting for you.
I appreciate this, Bart, and the rest of you. Well, I'd better get going. But don't worry, I will be back soon. I guess this will be the last journey you and I make together. I'm counting on you, partner. Elly! Where am I? That's Elly! This must mean that I am inside of Deuce?
Not exactly. Your actual body is but a physical object. It has merely been absorbed into Deuce's outer shell. Only your consciousness is here. Of course, the girl you perceive in front of you is also not a true being. Your consciousness is merely creating her image.
Huh? The wave existence? No, that's not you. Who are you? It can't be! Is that you, Krelian? That's right, isn't it? Krelian! It was you who did this to Elly!
The path of Sephiroth has been connected. No one can stop God from returning to his world now.
So, what have you come here for, Lock-On? I came here to take the person I love back with me, so set Elly free! The Deuce's system has been destroyed. It's all over now! So instead, I ask you, what are you hoping to achieve now?
The time when all things started, the place where all things were one. I'm going to return there.
What place?
Before the beginning of the universe, in the undulating waves of the higher dimension, all things were one. It was the waves spilling out from there that created this four-dimensional universe of ours. Humankind and the souls of humankind that were born from there are merely leftovers of those spilled waves. So,
you're going back there? Is that what you desired?
Lock-On, why such reluctance to become one with the god? What attachment could you possibly have to this wretched old world? What meaning can be found in living out such a short existence? Hurting others, hurting yourself, grinding one another down, only to inevitably die and return to dust? Why? Everything we could ever desire is here. No need to be troubled by the need for love, for this place is filled with the love of God.
I've not lost hope in humans as much as you have, Krelian. Someday, humankind will come to understand one another. I sincerely believe that.
How can you be so sure? Humans will never come to understand each other. You said that she is the person you love, but can you say that you even truly understand each other? All humans do is place themselves at a comfortable distance from each other and call that mutual understanding, spiritual unity, or true love, but it is all lies. Man cannot associate with others without first deceiving themselves. That is the way that they were created.
But one being's ego can't determine everyone's fate. People have the right to choose their own destiny. That is why humans have free will.
And what if that will itself was predetermined? What then? Oh, what folly. Humans are just primitive life forms that have no such things as free will. Mankind has merely been allowed to live in an imperfect state, as is, as will be. It is for this very reason, because humans have this wretched will, or whatnot, that humans must experience sadness and loss. For someone to gain something means another must lose it. It is impossible to make humankind share limited things and affections. So, I came to the conclusion that everything must be reverted back to where it all began. To go back to where all was one, waves and nothing else, it is not my human ego, it is the will of the waves, the will of God.
Well, that's alright too. We don't have to be perfect. Actually, being imperfect makes mankind live by helping each other. That's what being human is. That's mutual understanding. That's unity and love. I'm glad. No, I'm proud to be human. Elly placed the future, tomorrow, in our hands based on our choice, and she is working to keep Deuce far from our planet. She is also trying to heal your heart. You who wants to journey all alone, to be with God. Can't you understand Elly's feelings? Do you have to become one with God before you are able to comprehend all of this? I understand. I know her feelings, as if they were my own. Yes, she and I are one. We don't need God's help.
Well then, prove it to me. Show me this power of humans. Show me this love that you say can make you independent of God.
This battle is pretty easy. Notice how it has purple hair? Can I get to infinity? Yeah. Finally done.
Elly!
Faye, it was Krellian. Krellian released me.
Krellian?
Yes, I came to understand after becoming one with Krellian. His heart was so full of sadness. That is why he desired for he and I to become one with God. Because that would be the return to the beginning of everything. He told me, you should be with him. That is what he said. You see, he already knew. Yes, He already knew how I felt, how you felt, but there was nothing we or he could do. He had no choice but to go forward, even if it meant he lost all feelings, lost everything that was human. For all humankind's sake, there was no going back. Even looking back held too many memories. And he would have just wanted to go back, even though he couldn't. So please forgive him. Krelian loved people more than anyone else.
I don't forgive him. He sucks. I somehow knew it all along. I just knew he was really that kind of person.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I thought sacrificing myself in order to save others was the right thing to do. But my actions only brought sadness to all the people who I left behind. And that sadness gave birth to even more sadness. As long as I still live within you, my life is not just mine alone.
Elly, that isn't wrong. To sacrifice yourself for others is a noble thing. Even if it were to benefit yourself, it's no problem. There will always be a person healed, one or the other. Love gains its original shine only when there's an interrelationship between the giver and the receiver. It is incomplete when one or the other is missing. The two are one. It was you, Elly, who taught me that. I believe that is what it means to be human. I can now understand the true importance of it. I don't know if it's the right answer or not, but we have a lot of time to think about it. What Krelian himself was looking for all along. We will find the answer to it all, ourselves.
Thank you, Faye.
Elly.
Let's return to our planet.
That light. It's the point of contact with our world. But the dimensional shift has already begun. Will we make it in time?
Can you run?
If we're together, I can.
Krelian, you.
There's no time. This place is about to be destroyed. Now there is no more God. This is no longer their planet. This is your home planet that you are now standing on.
Krelian, you aren't going, are you?
No. Since that time, I have stopped being human. I've committed so many sins that any attempt at living like a human is impossible. The only one who could have forgiven me was God.
That's not true. I know they would understand. There's still plenty of time to atone for your sins. You, of all people, could do it.
Always the peacemaker, eh, Lacan? Perhaps that's what it means to be human. But regardless, I cannot go. It's something I've already decided. I go to walk with God, even if there's no place left for me upon my return. I must go now.
Krelian.
Actually, I envy you two.
Faye! What happened?
Waves from the explosion disrupted the ionosphere, making it impossible to get a visual. They were probably caught up in the explosion.
That's a lie! He'll come back. He promised us he would. I know it.
Run through the cold of the night as passion burns in your heart. Ready to fight, a knife held close by your side. Like a proud wolf alone in the dark, with eyes that watch the world. And my name like a shadow on the face of the moon. Broken mirror, a million shades of light. The old echo fades away, but just you and I can find the answer, and then we can run to the end of the world. We can run to the end of the world.
Sorry, I couldn't resist singing this song. It's so pretty. It's called Small Two of Pieces. Original storyline ideas. That's Kori Tanaka, which is Soraya Saga's real name. And she's known more as Soraya Saga. So, that was Xenogears. I hope you really enjoyed it. This is definitely one of my favorite PlayStation games. Really, really insanely good story for especially for its time. Well, for today, but especially for its time.
it's so in-depth. I really wish that they, I mentioned this before, like I talked about this extensively before, but they really should have just ended the game at Disc 1 and then made a sequel, but, well, they didn't. It didn't work out that way, and so they didn't. Disc 2 was very rushed. I tried to keep an open mind about it, because I've, like, said, Disc 2 is so bad, like, so many times, and I was like, maybe I'm being too harsh. I tried to keep an open mind this time, and it was still pretty rough. It's still a great... It doesn't... The second disc being a little lackluster doesn't change the fact that this is an amazing game. Like I said, the story is really amazing for a video game, especially for its time. The characters are amazing for its time. I wish that, they got more development. And that's one of the main reasons I do prefer Xenosaga, is because the character development continues all throughout the series. I really shouldn't be talking about Xenosaga right now, because I'm doing a Let's Play of it, but just to give you an example, in Xenosaga, I know how each character feels about each other. I know exactly how Ziggy feels about Junior. I know exactly how Junior feels about Shion. I know exactly how Jin feels about Junior. I know exactly how Momo feels about Chaos. Well, actually, that last one wasn't a good example, but you know what I mean. And in this one, I have no idea how Maria feels about Rico. I have no idea how Rico feels about Margie. I have no idea how Margie feels about Maria. So, but I mean, you really can't be too hard on it, because developing characters that much, at this point in time was, like, even as much as they did, was, like, unheard of. It's extremely advanced for its time. I mentioned the gameplay before. I do have a problem with the gameplay of this game, because although watching it may seem like there's a lot of depth, until you get to the 7 AP death blows, like I've said many times before, it's pretty much a matter of aesthetics. So, I hate to say it, but it's true. You can disagree with me if you want. I love the music. I love Yasunori Mitsuda. He's going to return for Xenosaga Episode 1, and, well, as you probably guessed, I am going to do Xenosaga after this. It is one of my favorite video game series of all time. I guess this is included in the series since it is a Xeno game, but yeah, this is what led to it. And I hope you watch that too, because that game is also very important to me. This game is really important to me too, but Xenosaga is on a whole nother level. I know I shouldn't be talking about it, but it's part of the same meta series, so it's justified. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed my Let's Play of Xenogears. I know it was a little long. It's one of the longest RPGs I've ever played. It should be shorter, honestly. I think it would benefit from being shorter. Does Tetsuya Takahashi not realize how long his games are? I guess that's one of the things they did right in Xenosaga, was they did them in parts, in 3 different games instead of just one game. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Xenogears Episode 5, The End. I was not aware that this was split into episodes, but there you have it.